Hey guys, Bri Mellon here with Ross Sternstrom live at TD Ameritrade Park. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday. It was a big morning in Lincoln. Nebraska announced Will Bolt as the 24th head baseball coach. There was a huge turnout this morning for the annual nationwide event, Coaches vs. Cancer. Nebraska hosted Ohio State in a game that they were favored to win. Arkansas, Texas Tech, and Mississippi State are the three teams making back-to-back appearances in the College World Series. The Razorbacks fell to Oregon State in the national championship game a year ago and have unfinished business to take care of in Omaha. The Michigan Wolverines have said that they would have never made it to the national championship game without overcoming adversity throughout their season. One special 11-year-old shares that same sentiment and will be rooting for the Big Blue tonight. The NBA draft was earlier this month, and although Creighton's Martine Crumple went undrafted, it doesn't mean he's throwing in the towel. After working out for 6 different teams, the Blue Jay is joining the Denver Nuggets Summer League roster. The Slovenian native graduated from Creighton this May and started all 35 games for the Blue Jays last season. Crumple led the team in rebounds, blocks, field goals, and free throws made. We'll start sports off tonight with breaking news out of Lincoln. Nebraska's head baseball coach Darren Erstad has resigned after 8 years with the program. Coach Erstad led the Huskers to a Big Ten championship and 4 NCAA regional appearances. Coach Martin said earlier in today's press conference that the group of guys that were back here in 2017 in the College World Series held a meeting early on in the season and said, look, we're in San Quentin, we're in jail right now. If we don't turn this thing around, we're not even going to make it to a regional. So he said those experienced guys really have prepared this team for this moment. Ryan's nickname is actually Bro Hearn. He got it in college, so hence the shaka and the surfboard. There's a close-up for you guys. So gates open at 6 o'clock if you want to claim one of these bad boys. And I think us Cali girls can appreciate the surfboard and the wave, right?
I would say so.
Yeah.
You know you want one, Bri.
I do. This is Ross's. I might steal it from him. We're just a half an hour away from first pitch for the Tigers and Royals rubber match game. Kansas City is looking to win their first series since mid-April. Homer Bailey will be the starting pitcher for the Royals. The Tigers will counter with Matt Boyd. Like many of our sports teams here in the metro area, Creighton has encouraged fans to bring relief supplies to further help flood victims. We have 10 trucks here outside of the CHI Health Center. The downfall for the Hawkeyes was their starting pitching, Grant Judkins, only lasting 1 1/3 before Iowa had to resort to their bullpen. I'm here at B&B Boxing Academy for Terrence Crawford's hometown send-off. Crawford will travel to Madison Square Garden next Saturday, April 20th, to take on England's Amir Khan. I also picked up this souvenir at the hotel. Michigan calls themselves Team 153, celebrating 153 years as a program, but we have to hide this because we're actually standing in front of the Vanderbilt section. The Creighton Blue Jays competed in an elimination game today at the Corvallis Regional. After being shut out by Michigan on Friday, the Jays were tasked with beating the defending national champion Oregon State Beavers. It was winner go home for the Jays. Senior Evan Johnson got the nod and had a fantastic start. In the bottom of the first, the A's strikes out projected #1 overall draft pick Adley Rutschman swinging on a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. The top of the third, still scoreless, junior Isaac Collins. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. He crushes the solo shot, which is actually Creighton's first run of the tournament. Same inning, runners on the corners for senior Jack Strunk. He gets just enough on it to get past the Beaver shortstop. Jake Holton scores, but Oregon State bobbles the ball in center, and Will Robertson comes home for a 3-0 lead. The Jays went on to eliminate Oregon State on their home field 4-1. Creighton will meet the loser of Cincinnati and Michigan tomorrow at 2 p.m. The Michigan Wolverines have said that they would have never made it to the national championship game without overcoming adversity throughout their season. One special 11-year-old shares that same sentiment and will be rooting for the Big Blue tonight. Matthew Medina has osteogenesis imperfecta type 3, which is one of the more severe types. When Matthew was born, he had fractures from the chin down and has had over 200 fractures and 11 surgeries since. There is no cure for the genetic disorder, but it does not affect him mentally.
He goes through kind of like cycles where sometimes he'll go for months and months on end without having anything broken of significance, and then all of a sudden he'll be breaking things left and right, from doing something as simple as coughing and sneezing to other things, accidents or just regular everyday life.
The Medinas reside in Houston and are huge Astros fans.
In 2017, that's whenever like the greatest baseball season of my life basically just happened, because that was the season whenever I went to my first game, and that's the season whenever they won the World Series. So that was just like amazing. I actually met Correa last year in November, and yeah, he was just a really cool guy to whenever I met him, you know. We had like a nice little conversation, and yeah, he's a really cool dude.
Matthew attended a Shriners Hospital for Children event at Minute Maid Park. He met Dustin Johnson of Shriners and told him that he would be attending a clinic in Omaha in June. Johnson was able to grant the family tickets to the College World Series through the NCAA.
This is so important to us as a family because obviously he's not able to participate in the sport traditionally or the way others would. So anything that will get him close to sports is something that just drives his passion, and it really makes him happy.
On Sunday, Michigan and Vanderbilt held a press conference previewing the championship series. Despite being a diehard Astros fan, Matthew also loves the Wolverines and was able to ask head coach Eric Backish a question.
It was just really cool talking to him, you know, because like you really ever get the chance to speak with the coach and just like talk about like what motivated them to hit that walk-off and basically save their careers.
Matthew got to see TD Ameritrade Park in person for the first time as he watched Michigan's batting practice.
Unbelievable, to be fair. It's a big place. It was a lot bigger than I expected.